Hi there. I'm going to talk about mental health in India because I've gathered some stuff from government papers, research in different places. As I told you, I'm not a professional, but there's a lot of information out there, and I made a summary so that we can have more awareness, because mental health the trend in India is quite alarming, and it's important that we know about it. We can't change the world, each and one of us, without helping each other. We need to talk together, we need to find out, and by having more information, we can help the people around us. That's the main cause. For me, it's about helping people, and I hope that my sharing of this video and further videos with information about mental health will help people, and that we get more engaged and in the issue, so that we can together make it easier for people that are struggling with mental health. Okay, I'll read straight out from the paper, because I've gathered all the information in the paper, and I can't remember everything by heart. And I apologize that my English is not perfect and that I'm not professional yet. So many things there could be pauses and some awkward situations. So I really apologize in that case. Okay? Let's get started. Mental health in India: trends, challenges, and causes between the year 2000 and 2025, up till today. 1. Introduction and background. India, home to 17.7% of the world's population, faces a major challenge in mental health. Over the past 2 decades, mental health disorders have become a leading cause of non-fatal disease burden in the country, and their societal impact has doubled since 1990. As of 2017, an estimated of 197 million Indians, a striking 1 in 7 people, had a diagnosable mental disorder, including nearly 46 million with depression and 45 million with anxiety disorders. Imagine that, 197 million people. That's quite a lot, even quite a high percentage even of the Indian population. Nationally representative surveys, it's called NMHS, a survey for 2015 and 16, further show that the lifetime prevalence of mental disorders is 13.7. Other studies indicate a rate as high as 14.3% in 2017. Mental health, long neglected, has moved up the policy agenda in the 2010s and 2020s as recognition of its crucial role in overall health has grown. So the awareness amongst politicians and professionals is that mental health is becoming a very important issue in India, because the growing number of people that are struggling is alarming. So now it's being more recognized, and hopefully there'll be more research and more information and more help for the population. That's how, where I live in Norway, even here we have some challenges, because there's not enough support in the society when it comes to mental health, especially the people that work and contribute, and that struggle in addition. Okay, changes and trends. Rise in burden and prevalence. The contribution of mental health disorders to India's total disease burden nearly doubled, from 2.5% disability adjusted life years, in shortens it's called DALYs, daily. That's for disability adjusted life years, and in 1990 to 4.7 in 2017. So from 2.5% in 1990, it's gone up to 4.7 in 2017. That's quite a large increasement. Mental disorders are now the leading cause of years lived with disability. The shortens for that is YLDs, years lived with disability, in India. 14.5% of total YLDs in 2017. That's quite a lot. I'll be posting everything that I read here also in text below the video. So if there's anything that is unclear, please read the text too. And I'll also add the sources I've used to get this information. Age and gender differences. Women have had higher rates of depression and anxiety, while childhood onset disorders such as autism and ADHD has been more prevalent in males. Depression prevalence in particular rises steadily with age, peaking amongst older adults. I can feel it's familiar to me because my mental health issues has increased with the years, and I'm 50 years old now. Urban-rural divide. Urban areas, especially metro cities, report a prevalence of 13 to 14%, nearly double of the rural regions, 6 to 7%. Urbanization is associated with increased stress, dislocation, and greater recognition and diagnosis. So, when you live in urban areas, is it because there's more help to find, or is it just that it's a more stressful life that causes all these disorders? It's difficult to say. I don't know what research. I haven't found any research on that. But it could be the awareness that makes the percentage much higher, or it's just that life is much harder in urban areas than rural. State and regional differences. More developed southern states have higher rates of depressive and anxiety disorders, possibly related to urbanization and modern lifestyles. So that's what I was just talking about. In contrast, childhood and adolescent mental disorders are more prevalent in less developed northern states. Suicide and mortality. India consistently records high suicide rates, particularly amongst women, with strong regional differences. There's a notable correlation between mental disorders, especially depression and suicide. Not surprisingly, because depression is a very tough thing to go through. If you don't get help, sometimes you feel that there's no other way, and that's very sad. And let's to the next point. Most common disorders. Depression is one of them. Affects an estimated 3 to 5% of the adult population at any given time. So that's quite a high percentage. 3 to 5% of the adult population is affected by depression. Depression alone accounts for over 1/3 of the mental health burdens in 2017. So it just the numbers says it actually how depression is. I mean, depression is something that has to be addressed. It's a very important issue. I don't know how India deals with it, but I hope that more information and research will help. Anxiety disorders, similar prevalence as depression, 3 to 4%. Anxiety and depression together account for over half the mental health DALYs in India. And DALY, that was, what was it that we agreed about? What was that shortens? I'm trying to look back to it so that I don't give you wrong information. DALY, that's disability adjusted life years. So the depression and anxiety causes many years of disability, and people don't work. So that's the basic. Let's see, anxiety, severe disorders, schizophrenia and bipolar disorders collectively affect millions. 0.3% is schizophrenia and 0.6% on bipolar disorders. Substance use disorders are also common, but particularly amongst men. Alcohol and tobacco abuse is prevalent. So there's a high usage of alcohol and tobacco amongst the male population in India. Childhood and adolescent disorders disorders, intellectual disabilities, and autism spectrum conditions are widespread and significant source of disability in the under 20 population. So the population below 20 years of age, there's a high, it's intellectual disabilities that could be, I don't know, I'll have to do more research on that. And then autism, I'll know a little about that. Please get back to me if you have some more information on that, because I don't have enough knowledge, so I'm not going to say much about it. I'm just showing the statistics. Key causes and social factors. Stigma and treatment gap. India faces one of the world's largest gaps in mental health care. An estimated 70 to 90% of people with diagnosable mental illnesses receive no formal treatment. Stigma, lack of awareness, and limited mental health infrastructure are critical barriers. I think stigma is one of the most critical barriers because it's very hard to talk about it when you struggle. You don't want to tell other people, you don't want to share because you feel shame, you feel that people won't take you seriously or look down at you. So it's very difficult. We have to, as a society, try to understand each other and be more accommodating, to listen to other people and listen to them when they are struggling. We have to we have to lend out our hand and help. I was so lucky that someone reached out to me and saved me. So that it is possible. It's never too late. I hope that more awareness will help people that are capable of helping others help people that are struggling with mental health. There are a lot, and you see that there's a high percent of depression amongst women, so that should be an indicator. So I hope many of you will start looking a bit around and try to see if there's some help that we can offer. I didn't articulate myself very well here, but I hope you understand. Poverty and inequality, socioeconomic adversity, unemployment and financial stress are major contributing factors to both prevalence and severity. I can feel it myself because I'm under tremendous financial pressure. So that really affects my mental health because struggling every day and trying to make ends meet, it's really hard. And when you still don't get anywhere and everything feels hopeless, it doesn't help. It doesn't help your mental health. Gender and discrimination. Women experience higher rates of certain disorders due to gender discrimination, violence and abuse, and cultural pressure. I have heard that many women in India experience a lot of, violence, abuse, and discrimination. It's not good. We should treat each other equally. Everyone we love should be taken care of, regardless of gender or any other sort of if they're straight or gay or other preferences. But the most important thing is that we take care of each other, regardless of gender, regardless of our beliefs, our identity. Everyone deserves to be deserves love and care. Don't you agree with me? Urban stress and modernization. Rapid urbanization, migration, and breakdown of traditional support structures have resulted in new sources of stress, especially amongst youth and urban poor people. Childhood trauma and abuse. Evidence links bullying, sexual abuse, and intimate partner violence directly to increased rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. This should actually give you some clue. Okay, so let's go on to the policy, response, and systematic challenges. So let's see what kind of challenges we meet here. National policies. India launched its first national mental health policy in 2014 and strengthened legal rights with the 2017 Mental Health Care Act, guaranteeing access to protection from discrimination. I don't think it has worked in worked in real life, but at least there's a policy there that they have to try to improve. Service shortcomings. Despite these advances, India has only around 0.3% psychiatrists per 100,000. They have only 0.3 psychiatrists per 100,000 people. So that's a lot of that. We lack a lot of psychiatrists compared to the population. Far below global averages. Most districts still lack adequate mental health services. There are small numbers of psychologists, psychiatric nurses, and social workers contributing to a huge treatment gap. Funding limitations. India's mental health spending is less than 1% of its total budget. That should say it all, actually. When you don't spend more than that on such an important issue, you won't get improvement. It's very simple. Funding is very important to improve people's lives. Don't you agree? Community initiatives, innovative approaches, example, task shifting to non-specialists, community health outreach, and telemedicine have improved access to some areas, but scale and sustainability remains challenged. So, although it's getting a little better, there's a long way to go. So let's conclude. Recent developments and future directions. COVID-19 impact. The pandemic dramatically increased reported prevalence of anxiety and depression, not surprisingly, particularly amongst young people and urban populations. I mean, when you have to live in isolation, there was a lot of challenges, mental challenges, and that was not only in India. All over the world, mental health issues increased during the pandemic. And now I hope it's getting better. Growing awareness. Efforts by NGOs, media campaigns, and school-based programs are slowly reducing stigma and encouraging help seeking. So I didn't articulate myself well enough previously here, but this is what we need. More awareness, and actually the government should work much harder to create more awareness around mental health, both in schools, jobs, and everywhere. That's how we can help people that are struggling. Urgent needs. Experts call for better integration of mental health care into broader health system. So when you use only 1% of your total, what do you call? I forgot the word at the moment, but at least 1% is too low when you have 179 million people struggling. It explains itself, doesn't it? Investments in workforce development, community-based care, and continued anti-stigma efforts. Anti-stigma is very important because if we don't marginalize people with mental health issues, if we try to reduce the stigma, we can help more people. So if you have any, I really apologize that the video may not have been good enough because it's my English is not, I'm not practicing my English well enough, so I'm trying my best. And that's why I'll write the whole text below the video. So please read that and give me feedbacks. If this video has been too bad, please tell me so that I can try to improve next time. And maybe I should pause a little more in between so that I can take some rest and then try to be more fluent, because this video wasn't fluent enough. So I really apologize for that. But I need more engagement. We need more people to see these videos and spread more awareness so that we can try to improve as a society. And imagine that India, before the British took over, had the world's largest economy. So we need to get back to that. But we need to help more of the population in India. Mental health issues is growing alarmingly. So we need to get more awareness around that. Okay? Maybe it was a bit rubbish here at the end, so sorry. But okay, please read the text too and come back with reflections and feedbacks. Thank you then.